What's up, guys? Rachel West here, joined once again by Rays beat reporter Marc Topkin. Mark, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I've fully recovered from that one last night yet.
Yeah, it was a crazy game, a long night, Rachel. I think I was up till about 5 here local time in Texas, putting the last story up on Tampa.com. And the hotel here only serves coffee and breakfast till 10, so I set the alarm for about 9:52 to race down to the lobby. So it was a short night after a long night, but obviously a incredible game, one of the most memorable and meaningful games in Rays history, and I think pretty well documented by John Romano, Dirk Shad, and I on Tampa.com.
Yeah, for sure. It was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. Brett Phillips, hometown kid, coming through in the clutch. Story couldn't have written itself any better, honestly. You were there in the stadium last night. Take us through that moment.
Yeah, there were so many elements to that, to the ending of that game, and even before that, it was a really good game before the ninth inning. I mean, there were runs scored in 8 consecutive half innings. That's never happened before in a World Series game. There were so many big moments. I mean, just think of the emotions of Brandon Lowe between the 3-run home run and the ball ticking off his glove that looks like it was going to cost him. So that alone was a great story. But what an ending! And you got to go back, I think, to Kevin Kiermaier's broken bat hit was obviously a huge part of that. Randy Arozarena, what a patient at bat working that walk and some of the pitches he took to not get aggressive and try to be the hero there. And then here comes Brett Phillips. You talk about unlikely heroes, a guy, local guy, as you say, hardly played much of a role with the Rays in this postseason, really even since coming over in trade in August, and just gets up there, gets behind in the count, puts the ball in play. It's down. It's a hit. So Kiermaier is probably going to score. Chris Taylor, the Dodgers center fielder, boots the ball. Rodney Linares, the Rays third base coach, gets aggressive, sends Arozarena. You think, okay, looks like they're going to win it. No, maybe he's going to get thrown out at the plate. Then he falls down. Now you think, oh, he's not going to have any chance. Then the Dodgers make another mistake. Their catcher, Will Smith, has a swipe tag, misses the ball. Their pitcher, Kenley Jansen, doesn't back up the play. Arozarena kind of half crawls, half runs, half slides, which is 3 halves, but whatever. Gets to the plate. He's pounding on the plate. Brett Phillips with the airplane run out to the outfield. It looks like you after doing a good video, just celebrating like crazy, and then just pandemonium breaks loose. And I thought some of the reactions afterward were great. Brandon Lowe said he thought it took 10 years off his life. Kevin Cash said he didn't know what to do. He just started hugging people. Kiermaier said he was still out of breath 40 minutes later. Brett Phillips almost passed out in the celebration out on the field. So there was all kinds of stuff going on, and what a moment in Rays history. And we've got a World Series that's 2-2.
Yeah, Brett Phillips' airplane run, definitely a move of legends. Might have to steal it, add it to the repertoire. But the Rays are obviously on an emotional high right now, feeling really good after last night. But the fact of the matter is there are still at least 2 more games that need to be played in this series. And sometimes after such an emotional win like that, teams maybe tend to come out a little flat the next day. So what do the Rays need to do in order to prevent that from happening to them?
Well, I think there are some teams that would come out flat because of something like this. I don't think the Rays are that kind of team. I mean, they play with a lot of emotion. They play with a lot of energy. They play with a sense of team camaraderie, a great culture. They're all happy for each other. So I think this is going to carry them. I think this is going to fuel them. I think this gives them probably a psychological edge going into Game 5 tonight. I mean, think about it from the other side. You're the Dodgers. You're a team that hasn't won a World Series since 1988. You're a team that's had opportunities before, and somehow something goes wrong. And last night was that something. I mean, you watched the reaction, the clip of Dave Roberts, their manager, kind of just throwing his stuff in disgust in the dugout, and hearing some of their interviews. I mean, they're the team, I think, that comes in today for Game 5 where they're looking at it like, boy, what else could go wrong? And how did we let this game get away? We should be playing to clinch it tonight with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, and something happened. So I think it has more of a mental effect negatively on the Dodgers than any chance for the Rays of being, kind of in an emotional hangover or overconfident or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. And the pitching matchup tonight, it's going to be a rematch of Game 1, Tyler Glasnow versus Clayton Kershaw. As we know, things did not go the Rays and Glasnow's way in Game 1. So what sorts of changes does Glasnow need to make tonight to make sure this outing goes a little better than the first time around?
All right, here's some really sophisticated baseball analysis. Glasnow has to not walk 6 guys in the first 4 1/3 innings. If he does that, he'll be in better shape. No, I mean, seriously, he has to execute his pitches better. He has the great repertoire. He's got the fastball, curveball combination that, Kevin Cash has said many times is one of the best two-pitch mixes in baseball. I think what Glasnow has to do is he has to get ahead. He has to not, put guys on for no reason, not create extra trouble for himself. And he said himself yesterday, execute pitches. He feels confident. He feels like there were some mechanical things he addressed. He says that a lot, but he works with Kyle Snyder in between starts. And he was in the bullpen last night. Both he and Blake Snell were in the bullpen last night. One of them was going to pitch if that game went extra innings. So, does that affect Glasnow's psyche going into today or not? I don't know. We're not going to be able to talk to him before the game today. But, I think the emotional high of last night's game, he probably is the one guy that has to harness that a little bit when he goes out there tonight.
Yeah, well, one thing's for sure going into tonight, and that's if tonight's game is half as exciting as last night's was, we're definitely going to be in for another good one. So, Mark, as always, thank you for the time. Everyone, be sure to follow along with Mark on Twitter and Sports by Tampa Bay on Twitter throughout the game. And make sure to check out tampabay.com for your full World Series coverage.